Hey guys, so I wanted to pop on here and do a review of the movie Anyone But You, and it stars Sweeney and Glen Powell. And I actually saw it a while ago. I saw it actually on the plane on my way to a fun trip to Scotland. So I wanted to share my thoughts about it and whether or not I would recommend it to you. So let's get started. So first and foremost, I feel like this movie got a ton of press and a ton of buzz, especially on TikTok, because everyone thought that these two were having an affair. So whether or not I really think that's true, I'm not sure. It does seem a little suspicious that as soon as the movie came out and it's been out for a while, I feel like the rumors just dissipated. So kind of felt like it was some sort of like ploy to get people interested in the movie and to actually want to watch it, which I think it worked. But let me know what you guys think about those rumors and whether you felt there was some truth to it. Okay, so just a bit about the premise of the movie. It follows B, who's played by Sweeney, as an aspiring lawyer who has a chance encounter with Ben, who's played by Glen Powell, at a coffee shop. And then it turns into like a spark, a romance. They kind of have a one-night encounter, but then things kind of fizzle out unexpectedly. And then they have another chance encounter, or they get brought back together again when it just so happens that Ben's friend ends up marrying B's sisters. And then they are reunited and they have to go to a destination wedding in Australia together. And to make things even more complicated, B's ex and Ben's ex happen to be also invited to the destination wedding as well. So the two of these, initially they hate each other, but they decide to conspire together and fake a relationship to make their exes jealous at this wedding. So obviously, as you can imagine, hilarity and complexity ensue. Okay, so just some initial thoughts about it. I definitely felt that this movie was light, frothy fun. Nothing deeper than that. There's not a lot of substance. And I'm a little bit surprised because for so much attention that these two got for, having insane chemistry and perhaps actually having a real life affair, I kind of felt like their chemistry fell flat. And I'm not so sure how I felt about the acting. I also felt like the acting was pretty mediocre as well, and just the lines in the movie, they were very cliche. But if you kind of don't have those expectations, I think it is a fun and good time, a good way to spend your time on an airplane. And I also did enjoy how I think it was actually filmed in Australia. I believe it was. So you definitely got to take in the sights, for example, the Sydney Opera House and just like the scenery. And I actually have been to Australia recently. I think it was about 2 years ago. So it was kind of nice to revisit that whole experience again. I also did find some of the scenes pretty funny. For example, there's a scene with a spider being in someone's pants. I won't go into too much detail, so that scene was pretty funny. So it definitely has enjoyable moments, but I wouldn't say it's like top-notch romantic comedy or anything that's like too memorable of that nature. And something else I do want to mention is I feel like the movie had a lot of unnecessary raunch to it. Like, for example, promoting a certain person's assets I didn't feel were completely necessary, but hey, I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to draw an audience. So that I wasn't like super thrilled about either. But yeah, all in all, I think it's a light, fun movie. I definitely probably wouldn't pay to see it in the theater. I'm glad I didn't. I think it's a nice way to spend hours on an airplane. But yeah, I probably wouldn't have paid to see it in the theater. Okay, so last fun fact about the movie before I go is that did you know it's actually based on William Shakespeare's play, Much Ado About Nothing, hence the reason or the origin behind the two main characters' names. So in the play, the main characters are named Beatrice and Benjamin, so that's why they're named like that. But yeah, thanks for watching guys, and stay tuned for more content from me.